Yo, what's going on guys? I'm Jay Cartere, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Ark Survival Evolved for the PS4 and letting you know, is it worth the price?
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long.
My experience. I've been fiending for a survival game with a big multiplayer element for a long time. I saw games like DayZ and H1Z1 on PC, and I hope that one day we'd get a similar experience on consoles. Ark was the first survival game like that made its way to PS4. I played it for about 3 months while it was still in early access back in January of 2017. I played on official servers and I created and ran a tribe that eventually became the alpha tribe of the server that we lived on. So it's fair to say I put a bunch of hours into this game. Gameplay. Ark has a few different ways to play the game that drastically change the experience. So for the gameplay section of this review, I'm going to cover the experience of single player and then PvP multiplayer on official servers and unofficial servers. I did cover the experimental no tame servers in another review, but I've never played the primitive plus mode or multiplayer PvE. Single player. Single player in Ark is basically an adult version of Minecraft. You don't really have a set goal and you're thrust into this world and expected to find a way to survive. You can try to complete the story and get to the ending, but that aspect of the game is clearly an afterthought. This is not a story focused game, but you can immerse yourself in the mystery of the world and work towards uncovering the mystery while you build a place to live and tame dino pets. The early game can be hard and you'll likely die a lot, but once you get your bearings and get a decent base up, the challenge fades. Single player clearly wasn't the focus of the game and it shows. You can have some survival fun in single player, but you will be missing out on the true fun if that is the only way you play the game. You can change a lot of the rates on single player to make the game way less grindy, easier or harder depending on your preference. Multiplayer PvE is basically single player with other people around. You can trade with other players and possibly get griefed and trolled. For example, a tribe may lure an angry dino to your base. You can also show off your creations to strangers on the internet if that's something that you like to do. Quick side note, the AI of the dinos in this game is completely trash. Many strategies for taming or killing dinos is based on exploiting the terrible AI. Of course, strong dinos can still kill you if they catch you, but other players is really where the real danger lies. Multiplayer. Official servers. The experience on official servers is likely the experience that most people picking up the game will have. This experience will include waiting for 20 minutes or more trying to get onto your home server because it's full of players. At the time of this review, there's no queue system to join a server, and the best way to get onto a crowded server is to spam the join button and hope you get in or someone leaves. The devs are continuing to add new servers, so these problems may decrease in the future. The official PvP experience is extremely geared in favor of large tribes. If you plan to play solo on an official server, it will likely be a waste of time. There is a good chance that you will log on and find your base has been destroyed and your belongings have been robbed. Experienced players or people that push through these initial losses will learn from their mistakes and eventually build a hidden base with defenses, but none of this guarantees that your base will be there when you log back on. That's the risk you take when you log off in Ark, and it's also a very interesting part of the game. When you log off, your character goes to sleep and stays in the game world. You can be robbed, imprisoned, or even turned into a living blood sack, Mad Max style. Your base is also able to be broken into and completely destroyed. Any dinosaur you've tamed may be murdered and harvested for hide and meat by someone who just likes to see things die. Playing in a small tribe can also be similar to playing solo. The advantage of joining or creating a tribe and playing with people is that you get more things done in a shorter amount of time. The more players, the better, in theory. Finding people you trust can be very difficult on Ark's official servers. Ark rewards the most toxic and ruthless behavior. You may find yourself betrayed and robbed by someone who you thought you could trust. You might lose everything you've built because someone had a bad day. If you want to find people to tribe up with in Ark, I highly suggest you join the Ark PS4 Discord. The link will be on the screen. That's discord.me/Ark PS4. The key to succeeding in Ark is developing alliances and good relationships. Politics are a very big part of Ark, and if you and your tribe do not play the politics game, then it's unlikely you will last long. I am an introvert at heart and I don't really like to talk to people too much, but Ark forced me to do just that, and I believe I'm a better person for it. I've formed alliances and created partnerships and talked to a bunch of people on our rise to alpha status. An alpha tribe is the most powerful tribe on the server. You may join a server where the alpha tribe has created rules or extorts players with the threats of destroying their base, or you might join a server where the alpha tribe doesn't get involved with what's happening on the server. A smart alpha tribe stays in the shadows because they are often the target of ambitious tribes or raiders from other servers. Let's talk about the dinosaurs in Ark. There are a lot of dinosaurs in Ark, over 100 right now, and the devs are continually updating and adding new dinos. Most of the dinosaurs have a useful ability like being able to gather resources efficiently or providing buffs to other dinos or players. Taming the right dinos and playing as efficiently as possible is very important. However, taming useful high-level dinos is usually a time-consuming and grindy process. You will generally have to knock a dino out, keep an eye on it, and feed it while it's unconscious for hours sometimes. This is not fun. If you have other tribe members online at the same time, or you were smart enough to lure the dino back to your base before knocking it out, then you can multitask and do other things. But waiting hours to tame a dino that can be killed in less than 10 minutes is silly. You can create something called kibble in order to tame dinos quicker, but the setup to create kibble is a long process in itself. And that's my biggest problem with the official servers. The rates are ridiculous. The amount of grinding and boring tasks that you need to do in order to have a couple hours of fun is wildly unbalanced. You can spend a whole week in real life preparing to have one day of PvP. It can be like spending all week at a boring job just so you get to go out on the weekend. It can become very much like having a second life, and that second life isn't always fun. The devs seem to want you to devote your life to Ark in order to be successful at it. It rewards players who sink an unreal amount of time into the game over skill. Skill can definitely help you, but the leveling system and the time it takes to get anything noteworthy accomplished makes skill much less of a factor. Most of the action on PvP official servers consists of people attacking bases while the opponents are offline, or PvB, player versus base. A legit strategy in Ark is to wait until your enemy is offline so that you can destroy their base, steal their stuff, and kill their dinos. It takes so long to gain resources and dinosaurs that it's not worth the trouble of risking losing those for the sake of having a real PvP fight over just attacking people when they can't defend themselves. The combat isn't the greatest. Both melee and ranged combat is mediocre at best, but the sheer choice and options that you have in terms of dinos, weapons, armor, and strategies makes up for the janky combat. So let's talk about unofficial servers. Unofficial servers are run by players, either from a second console or a rented server. On these servers, the owner can change many of the rates and options in the game to create a customized experience. For example, on my rented server, harvesting is 15 times the normal rate so that the game is less focused on grinding and more focused on actually having fun. There are many aspects of the game that can be adjusted to find the right gameplay style for you. I've had more fun on my unofficial rented server than I ever had on official. I can control who plays on my server, and I can also create rules for people to follow to keep the experience fun for everyone. Ark is a great sandbox, and having the ability to host or play on an unofficial server allows you to play the game the way you prefer. Of course, there are problems with unofficial servers too. You may experience admin abuse on a server that you join, or the server can go down and you may lose all your progress. You could very well experience an official server going down and losing all your progress too, but it is much more likely to happen on an unofficial server. The servers hosted from a PS4 or Xbox are especially unstable and prone to crashes or data loss. Since I've rented my own server from Nitrado, I haven't experienced any problems, and the server runs just as well as an official server, minus all the grinding and the trolls. I've only opened my server up to patrons to ensure the future of the server and keep it up for the long run through donations and such. The $3 monthly payment is more than worth the amount of time you save grinding and being wiped on official servers. On unofficial servers with higher rates, you can actually engage in PvP more often and with less worry. Updates. There are frequent updates which add new features, dinos and fixes. The game is still full of glitches and things not working as intended. On an official server you can lose hours of progress because of a glitch, but on a server with boosted rates it generally isn't that big of a deal. The toxic community. Since Ark promotes devoting your life to the game, it makes sense that it attracts a lot of toxic people. You will find people who have no lives and spend every waking hour playing Ark. These players tend to be quite elitist and unwelcoming to new players. You will also find people who just love to troll and ruin people's days. This is what you should expect on official servers, but of course you can find some cool people and not everyone is a dick. Graphics and sound. The graphics are pretty good. For a game of this scope and size, the graphics are more than good enough. When you fly past big bases, the frame rate does drop, but it usually smooths out after a base is loaded in. The frame rate drops is a common thing in the game, but it hasn't hampered my experience too much. The sound, however, is mediocre. The actual sound of the dinos and environments aren't that bad, but even after launch, you still can't tell exactly which direction a sound is coming from. The music is pretty good though. Is it worth the price? Ark Survival Evolved is currently £43.49 on Amazon. To be honest, there is a bunch of things that I couldn't cover in this review because of how deep and big this game is. I've had a bunch of fun playing Ark and it's one of the most unique and wild experiences I've ever had in a game. There are so many possibilities to experience, so many hours of fun, and also so many things that may make you rage quit. If you want to play this game solely for single player, then you should probably wait until the price drops to about £25. If you want to play on official PvP servers, then I don't think this game is worth the time or money. If you want to play on an unofficial PvP server, then this game is definitely worth the price and you are going to come away with many hours of fun. Be sure to stay till the end of the video to find out how you can join my rented Ark Survival Evolved server for the PS4. Here are some pros and cons to help you make the decision for yourself. Pros. The game is very deep. This is truly a sandbox game with many possibilities. There is no game like this on consoles right now. Cons. The tutorial system does not do a good job of covering the deep aspects of the game. Playing on official servers is a tedious grind that ends up feeling more like work than fun. The game is full of glitches. If you want to buy Ark Survival Evolved, then please use the Amazon link in the description. It will help out the channel at no cost to you. Thanks for watching guys, also thanks for liking and subscribing. Let me know what you thought of Ark Survival Evolved in the comment section down below. And if you want to check out the rest of my reviews, you can click on the playlist on the screen. Join my Discord channel to play Ark Survival Evolved with me and get involved with the community. You can also find a bunch of Ark Survival Evolved guides and gameplay on my channel. I'll see you in the next review. If you want to join my boosted rented server, then use the link in the description to apply to join the server or go to jaycartere.com/Ark apply. This will be a boosted PvP server, so you don't have to grind for days to have an hour of fun, unlike on official rates. All the rates and more information will be sent to you after you apply and are approved. This will be a server for majority 18 plus players. Any under 18 players will be interviewed by me to make sure that they're mature and there will be no salty squeakers on this server whatsoever. There will also be monthly packages for higher tier patrons such as bullets and materials. There will be no pay to win like wyverns or big dinos or anything like that in order to keep it balanced. But you will be rewarded for contributing a higher amount to keep the server active. Again, use the link in the description to apply to join the server or go to jaycartere.com/Ark apply.
apply now, because this server is going to be lit. And if you're on this server, you will be included in my YouTube videos and live streams. And I'll also help promote your channel. If you've got a channel or whatever and you get in a big raid or something, then I will include your link in the description if I show that raid on my channel. So if you've got a YouTube channel, you've got another reason to join the server.
It's been a cold winter and it's lasted far too long. So all this warmth I share with you.